Shout out to the mighty Who Dat Nation. Shout out to FanDuel, the official sponsor of the Sports Coma. Get all your bets at FanDuel. MMA, MLB, doesn't matter. All your bets available at FanDuel. Shout out to the mighty Who Dat Nation, the great Saint Think Tank. We in this one for another one, TSC. Saints predicted to sign second big name safety in as many years. So this is also kind of inspired by the fact that perhaps Alontae Taylor doesn't return and the Saints will have to pivot in free agency to find a replacement. Let's kind of see what the Saints wire. Shout out to them. They are on this potential scoop, and they talk about the free agency of this year, set to put some fun pairings around the league with quite a few big names set to hit the open market. While many of these players are outside skill positions, there are plenty of options to choose from at a vast majority of spots once March rolls around. One of the names who may fly under the radar a bit among fans or supporters is safety Alohi Gilman, a former 6th-round pick who has rapidly showcased his abilities on the film. He's a former Los Angeles Charger player, and Gilman picked up 5 interceptions, 5 forced fumbles, 252 tackles, 27 pass deflections, and a sack in 73 games. Then he was traded to Baltimore in 2025 and broke out in a big way. Very interesting. I've heard of this player too. So anyway, Fox Sports analyst Greg Auman recently predicted that where each big name free agent will head this offseason. Now Gilman, his number 99 ranked free agent, heading to New Orleans on a relatively reasonable projected deal. Gilman, who's 28, helped turn around the Ravens season after he was acquired from the Chargers. He has a history with Jesse Minter from the Charger days, so he could stay in Baltimore or follow John Harbaugh to Giants or reunite with Staley with the Saints. He's active around the ball, 5 career forced fumbles, 6 recovers. Not bad for $10 million. A $10 million contract should be in line for the same moving forward. So he's thinking about signing with the Saints. Now Gilman has become extremely versatile in the last few seasons, and in 2025 was a prime example of that. Across over 1,000 snaps, 543 came at free safety, 314 in the box, 106 came in the slot, 49 alongside the defensive line, and 14 as an outside cornerback. While the Saints do already have Justin Reed, Jonas Sinker, and Julian Blackman to choose from at the deep safety, Gilman would provide some exceptional value in the box. Whether or not Alontae Taylor were to leave, it would just depend on whether the Saints team deems safety be a position of need at this moment, or if they're ready to go get a cornerback instead. Will the Saints sign Ravens Alohi Gilman? That is the choice. Now, what's interesting is that, and that's one of the vastly popular questions that we talk about here on the show, is like, what's going to happen with the Saints and what's going to happen with the Saints and Alontae Taylor? Well, we knew that the Saints really wasn't looking at trying to, sign him. They were kind of more interested in trying to get a deal done with the likes of Chris Olave, but not so much on not too much on other players. Now we know that this is going to be the factors going forward. Like, we need to figure that situation out, right? We need to figure that out. Like, what we're going to do with the likes of Alontae Taylor, who had a really good year, but he's going to command a lot of money. He really is, man. He's going to command a lot of money. A lot of the current roles have him situated to be the top second defensive back available in many free agent listings. Could he be priced out of the Saints' hands? And this is Alohi Gilman, the safety there, 28 years old, 5'10", 201, 50 solo tackles, you can see there. And like, this is a guy that has a lot of consistency over time. You can see him with total tackles. His best were back in 2023. They just one of these guys that's a fly around the ball, right? This guy gets around the ball. He makes things happen. He doesn't get any interceptions. He's one of those box safeties that's good at tackling. You can see he really excelled last year in 12 games, had 68 total tackles, his second career high there, and not much sacks going on, not much interceptions going on. He's actually 5 for his career. That's not so he don't get picks. He's mostly a box safety. But still in all, we as a team has to, that is the biggest talking point about what happens with the Saints and Alontae Taylor, and who would then be guys that we reach to replace him. Will the Saints go more of the cornerback route, or will they use another safety? That is the question you ask because of the versatility of Alontae Taylor. But out of all of the questions in the offseason, the biggest one is not so much do the Saints re-sign Cam or DeMario, it's what happens with Alontae Taylor. It really is, because it shifts your philosophy on what you can do. Now, the Saints could pick up a really good safety in the draft, or, they can pivot into free agency. They have their options open. And I know Coach Staley is familiar with this player from his time with the Chargers, and probably would fit very well in the Saints system. A good tackling box safety who doesn't get interceptions, but Alontae really don't get interceptions anyway. So, but it's about the cost, and I don't think Alohi Gilman will cost you a lot of money if that is indeed the case. And he's familiar with Staley's system. There are ways and places that he can go. We just have to see how this plays out. But the most curious of questions for me into offseason, if you was ask me which ones I prefer, would be, what do we do with Alontae Taylor? And that's yet to be determined, because the market has yet to dictate its value insofar as when it opens, what teams will jump in there and say, hey, man, we're going to throw some money at them. And right now the Saints, they're going to let the market decide on whether or not they want to sign some of these players. So they'll get their money right and be positioned. Hell, when it's said and done, the Saints could be sitting north of $35 million in cap relief for this upcoming season, depending on how they work the contract. So they'll be sitting on some money to make several moves along the offensive line and in the defense if we lose players, picking up and re-signing certain players and getting in line to be better than what we were this past season, no doubt. So that's what I got here. What do you think about what the writer thrown in there in terms of who we should get back? Do you guys think that Gillen will be a good pickup for the Saints? I watched footage of this guy. He definitely can ball. If we don't get Alontae Taylor, should Gillen be the guy because of familiarity with Coach Staley's defense? Would that be a good pickup for you? What do you guys think? Chime in the comments section below. What do y'all feel about Alontae Taylor? What is too much for you, and do you think he'll be priced out of our hands in this free agency cycle coming up? Put that in the chat. That's all I got for y'all. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, light it all up, the share button, share the show on social media feed. Shout out to FanDuel, the official sponsor of the Sports Coma. Get all your betting at FanDuel. And also hit up the comments section below. Put your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you feel about this topic of discussion here for the Saints. How do you feel about the whole Alontae Taylor free agent situation? Put it in the chat. Let me know. With that being said, hit the like button, sub button, subscribe button, and notification bells for future content. And I'll be back. Much love. Peace.
Whether you're catching up on Saints news at Jackson Square, checking Pelicans scores in the Garden District, or staying updated on LSU while grabbing coffee in the French Quarter, there's one place that keeps you connected to everything that matters in our city. From Bourbon Street to the Superdome, from Preservation Hall to the Riverfront, New Orleanians are staying in the know with the WhoDatDaily.com. Your daily source for Saints, Pelicans, LSU, and all the sports, music, and culture that makes our city special. At work downtown, at a game in the Dome, or just relaxing by the Mississippi, wherever life takes you in the Big Easy, you can stay connected. Because when you're from New Orleans, you don't just live here. You stay in the NO. That's stay in the know. Visit the WhoDatDaily.com and never miss what matters most to Who Dat Nation.
Welcome to the Pro Shop, where we create authentic NOLA-inspired clothing for men, women, and children. From Saints jerseys to Pelicans gear, everything's crafted right here in New Orleans. Whether you're shopping the Pro Shop, the Pel Shop, or the Pro Shop Kids, we've got your whole family covered with genuine merchandise that represents our city's spirit. Check for links in the description section below or in the chat.